Okay, there we go. So, Century of Progress.
I think I got a little couple of them.
You were there? Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, well, there are people alive still who are there for sure. And you know what? You by so quickly, but yes. My mother was there, actually. So I can appreciate that. So, that's what it's called. Here it is. But this is special. This is how it looked, first of all. This is where it was located at on Lake Michigan. It was a huge fair. This is how the area looked not too many years ago when Meg's Field was still there. Just an idea of how it had developed over the years. So the bottom line, though, is this. This here was a very important setting for Haeger because it was in this setting that Haeger constructed a 10,000-foot L-shaped neoclassical building for pottery. And it was divided into two wings. One contained an exhibit hall. The other was a state-of-the-art actual working factory located at this fair. And this large kiln that you see there, this produced, on the average, 5,000 pieces of pottery every day when this fair was taking place, which went on for, by the way, for 2 years. Here's an example of what they made in that kiln.
Yeah, a couple like that.
Do you really?
Yeah, with
This one, this here?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is so beautiful. That's a treasure. That is really a treasure. So very cool, very cool. The brilliant exhibit caught the imagination of the public, but there was more to the attraction than just this modern technology that Haeger was showing. Edmund Haeger had invited world-renowned Native American potter Maria Martinez to display her wares and also demonstrate how pottery was made in the San Ildefonso tradition. And this is a very, very famous pottery that we're talking about here, immortalized by Maria. And I'm going to show this to you here. Here she is actually working there at the fair. And she did everything by hand by rolling it like this into rolls like this or tubular type shapes, and then making her pottery. So this here, of course, would turn, but she used nothing mechanical other than that. And the work that she turned out with her bare hands is unbelievable. Here's some examples. Is that beautiful? How about that? Just unbelievable pieces that she produced. So she was there, of course. It was very, very special to be able to see her works and then, of course, the modern technology that Haeger was using. Now, during the World's Fair, the Haeger Pottery exhibit had an unexpected visitor as well. A monkey from Frank Bunk's jungle camp at the World's Fair escaped and took possession of the stockroom of the Haeger exhibit. This is no joke. This really happened. This really happened, yes. And the monkey escaped on Wednesday by walking across on a narrow plank to gain his freedom from the jungle camp. He wasn't found till the next day when one of the workers at the Haeger exhibit walked into the storeroom and found the monkey sitting on a top shelf with broken pieces of pottery covering the floor. In the end, it took the assistance of numerous individuals, including professional animal keepers, to capture the escapee. This was only after the destruction of additional shelves of pottery. You can just imagine that monkey jumping around. Unbelievable. So he got caught. Okay. Well, shortly after the conclusion of the Century of Progress World's Fair, a major event took place in Dundee. I found this in Lexi. I don't know if anyone here knows Lexi, but I'm pretty close to Lexi. And this here, when I showed this to her, she got teary-eyed. This is from October 14, 1935. It was announced in this newspaper, the wedding of her parents. So, and that's where her father came from Waterloo. So it says here that Mr. and Mrs. Willard F. Estes returned Sunday from Dundee, where they attended the wedding reception for their son and daughter-in-law, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph F. Estes, at their new home, Braybanks in Dundee. So Mrs. Estes was Barbara Mills Haeger before her marriage last Monday. So she was the granddaughter of the founder of Haeger Pottery, Mrs. Barbara. Lexi's mother. So I found this for her. She never saw it before. She never knew it existed. So it was good. So this is Joseph Estes, her father. It was in the same year, 1935, that Joseph F. Estes began working for his father-in-law, Edmund. Because of his remarkable abilities, insight, and drive, he was about to take Haeger to an even higher level of excellence. By 1939, he was the general manager of Haeger. He, along with his father-in-law, introduced Royal Haeger to the world. And for those of you who are collectors, you know what I'm talking about. Very, very beautiful pieces of pottery. There's their insignia, Royal Haeger. It became an instant sensation everywhere. A paper in 1940 stated that Haeger was the country's largest art pottery. Here's some examples. Now, you know what? I just thought something, I'm so sorry. I should have done, I meant to do something at the very beginning, and I had totally forgotten. In the back, when you walked in, you saw a display, didn't you? Of pieces. That is my friend Dino Blahos. Am I saying it correctly, Dino Blahos?
That's correct.
Dino's here, and he, what do you belong to, Dino? What club is it?
Royal Haeger Pottery Collectors. On Facebook, there's over 2,000 members. And they were interested in your presentation, and that's why I'm taping this.
He's here taping further. So he's going to put this on YouTube. The club is correct, Dino?
Yes.
So great. And Dino kindly texted me today, asking if he could come and tape it first of all, and then afterwards asked if he could bring some to display. And what a kind thing for him to do for all of us. So thank you, Dino. And I apologize for not bringing it up at the very beginning. I meant to do it, then I got sideswept and I forgot. So, sorry. But if you haven't seen his pieces that he has his own personal collection in the back, please check it out afterwards, because there are some beautiful pieces. Thanks again, Dino. So this is one of the pieces here. Just beautiful, aren't they? It goes on and on and on. There's so many beautiful pieces of pottery. We have a guest in the audience tonight. What's that? Okay. There's a guest here tonight who has over 1,000 pieces of pottery. Who is that again?
Susan Matthews. She's here.
Susan Matthews?
Susan, can you wave?
There's Susan right here. She has over 1,000 pieces of Haeger pottery in her collection. Isn't that remarkable? You probably have many of these pieces, don't you? Do you? That's awesome. Awesome. Just beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that something?
That's what, yes,
Susan, which one of these do you have?
all of them in several places.
Do you have this one here?
Except for the tail out, yeah.
Oh, you don't
I
that
know
one
who
there.
has it.
Here.
A member of our club has it.
Really?
McGowan has it.
It's priceless. That
Well, no,
is,
there's a price on it.
yeah. Yeah. It's worth a lot of money. How's that? And I'm going to tell you why. They made this for a very short time, because in production, the tail would break off. So they had to figure out a different way of making this here so the tail wouldn't break off. So this is what they did. So they didn't make too many of these. So for a person to have that today, it's really something. So, it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at the colors. It's beautiful, the colors and the way that they were able to produce these out of clay, out of pottery, pottery. I love that piece. Don't you have a piece like that, Dino, in the back? You have one of those?
Not this particular piece, but something similar.
Something similar? Okay. I love this. I love the horses. Look at that.
The same clay they use for the bricks, or?
You know what? I've been talking with Lexi and Craig for a long time, and the resources did not last forever as they ultimately said they would last. So they have been bringing in clay for decades from out of state. So other areas of clay, it didn't come from, not from Dundee. I'm not sure how long ago they started to do this, but they used to bring in carloads full of clay on a weekly basis. Can you imagine that? Train carloads, So, no, but this is all from the Dundee clay, so. I love that piece. Isn't that beautiful? Just remarkable. So these are only a small sampling of the remarkable pieces of art designed and manufactured by Haeger Potteries. They searched out and hired the best artisans and ceramic engineers they could find in the industry to help to produce these pieces of art. Here's some examples. This is Franz Joseph Koenig. Royal Arden Hickman, very well-known man for Haeger. Francis Frank Petty, as well as Eric Olson. These four men, remember Eric? These men were instrumental with helping Haeger to produce the beautiful pieces of art that we have today in our collections and that we view. Here's some examples again. Just look at that. Just simply is magnificent. Panthers was a big icon for Haeger. My mother had one. I think I have one. Gold. This was by Mr. Olson produced this. The Royal Haeger ceramic lines continued to grow and evolve. At one time, they included dinnerware, but became especially known for vases, figurines, miniature animals, birds, flowers, lamps, as well as other unusual and useful accessories of exquisite taste.
I have a soup for me.
Haeger had the broadest and best-selling lines in American artware. In 1971, Haeger Potteries celebrated its 100th anniversary under Joseph Estes, who led the company through tremendous growth and is more than 50 years at the helm. In 1976, Haeger Potteries entered the Guinness Book of World Records. How many ever saw this vase?
Yeah, I think that is that big one we take up there?
Yes. This vase, standing more than 8 feet tall and weighing over 650 pounds, was created by Haeger Potteries. And it was there to the day they closed. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, it was the largest hand-thrown vase in the world. The largest vase, this is my book here, and it's in this book here still. This was in 1986, this edition that I have. At that time still, it held the record as the largest vase on record. Sebastiano Maglio. Very, very well-known man. Here he is in his younger day. Sebastiano. 1971 this picture was taken. Tours. The most popular stop on the tour was Sebastiano. His workshop. That's how I remember him. He's still alive, by the way. He still lives in Dundee. Yep. In an interview, he once stated, "You go by touch and feel." Maglio is often described as a magician, crafting the spinning clay first into a vase, then into a lamp, and finally into a candlestick. He flips the sides of a bowl, and suddenly it's a perfectly formed plate. And he was really amazing to watch how he could just work that clay. He was really a magician at that. He stated, "Each finger has its job. I can close my eyes and make something." He really literally could do that. So in 1979, Joseph F. Estes' daughter, Alexandra, I call her Lexi, Haeger Estes, the great-granddaughter of the founder, became the president of Haeger Potteries. She continued the family tradition and elevated Haeger to even higher levels of excellence. Producing more than 2 million pieces a year, Haeger was one of the largest producers of pottery in the entire country. Haeger products were carried by such retailers as Marshall Field, now Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Gumps, Tiffany, Crate & Barrel, J.C. Penney, Lazy Boy Galleries, Linens and Things, Pier 1 Imports, as well as many florists, garden centers, and other centers. It was throughout the entire country. Keeping up with the ever-changing business environment and competition, Alexandra developed an entirely new line of stoneware products that were distributed by, again, major name retailers. How many have ever seen this, the bakeware they produced? Beautiful pieces. Very well known in stores. And this was, for a number of years they produced this. Again, millions of pieces. A major event each year was the Haeger tent sales. How many ever went to a Haeger tent sale? The majority of you here did, huh? Yeah, I did too. Yep. It was unbelievable. You know, those tents were huge, weren't they? 18,000-foot tents that they used. Can you imagine that? 18,000 square foot tent. People numbering into the thousands would come to take advantage of the last days of the summer sale. It had attained such a reputation that people came from even out of state to come here to these tent sales. Gene D. Miko, he ran, he was the retail manager there. Very, very good person. So the people would flock even from Ohio, Minnesota to come to this sale. During the annual Haeger Pottery's tent sale, thousands of vases, pots, lamps, and sculptures would go on sale at reduced prices. So these were gobbled up by eager shoppers who wanted merchandise with the respected Haeger name on it. And here's some pictures of the tent sales. Some of the workers here. That's Gene D. Miko right there. Great guy. Look at the people. Look at the crowds. This was a big deal. Look at the amount of pieces they had there. It was unbelievable. Every year they had this in the parking lot. For those of you who didn't ever come to this here, this would be in the Haeger Pottery parking lot. It was an awesome experience. Look at that. So many people have been touched by Haeger. So many people have worked at Haeger that are in the area to this day. It's unbelievable. The challenges, though, and the competition that ushered in with the new millennium has been staggering for business. Here's an example. Circuit City, with assets of, at one time, of $3.7 billion. It once was the top U.S. electronics retailer with 567 stores, 34,000 employees. Despite that, it went out of business in 2009. Borders, another one, 2011, $1.42 billion, employing 19,500 people. Unbelievable. Again, went out of business. It's gone. How many remember Blockbuster?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Again, look how big they were, you know. They had $1.4 billion in business. And here it says they struggled to compete with the emergence of Netflix and other video on demand services. So what happened? In 2013, they closed their remaining 300 stores. One last one, Radio Shack. Again, a name we all grew up with, didn't we? We all remember Radio Shack. Again, $1.59 billion in 2015. They had 4,000 stores. They filed for bankruptcy in February, making the end of a 94-year-old retailer. 94 years, you know, amazing. So it went under. So in early April 2016, it was announced that Haeger Potteries was closing. Company calls it quits after 145 years. So that is true. Sorely missed, but never forgotten. So the four family presidents in 145 years were just four family members. David started it, that's his son. There's Joseph, that's Edmund's son-in-law, and this is Lexi, that's her father. So from 1871 to 2016, 4 people only. Isn't that amazing? It's a huge span. So President Alexandra Haeger Estes, great-granddaughter of founder David Haeger, said, "Foreign competition, post-recession consumer frugality, and changing tastes sealed the company's fate." So, very sad day. But this is the case. It's a common tale that many American manufacturers go through this. We just saw it a couple seconds ago. But unlike the makers of more prosaic goods, Haeger promises to leave a vibrant legacy. The rich, vibrant, beautiful works of Haeger pottery will continue to adorn our homes and those of our families, future generations, now and into the distant future. Isn't that true? For many, many years to come. Here's just some other examples of the pieces that are just so unbelievable that I'm sure some of our guests have at their homes right now. Just beautiful. This goes on and on. And every piece is numbered, every piece has either a number or a name. Look at that. Haeger Pottery will never be forgotten. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you. So, I'll open it up now for maybe some questions. So if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them for you.
What
Please.
happened to the big vase?
The big vase, they took the majority of their items, they auctioned them off. They were auctioned off in Chicago. And I'm not sure where the vase went. I asked a question, and I don't remember what the answer is. It went somewhere. You know, it was a shame, but
It did not sell at the auction.
it did, okay.
And then one of the cousins of Siegel and Richardson, one of the designers, one of his nieces, I think, purchased it.
Oh,
It's in her home.
it's in her home?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
She's got a very tall ceiling.
I'm sorry.
Gold-plated ashtray.
Gold, did they have a gold-plated ashtray? The collectors may know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Do you know, or they ever have a gold-plated
They didn't
ashtray?
really have gold-plated things. They had gold trim things like gold tweed, they called
Okay.
it, with, you know, gold over
Okay,
a white color.
got you. Okay. Very good, please.
How can you tell it's Haeger's Pottery? Are all of their pieces marked on the bottom somewhere?
Pieces that I have are, but are they all marked or not?
Yeah.
Sadly, they're not.
They're not all marked?
No?
Okay,
It's very difficult.
They're not.
to find.
okay. Okay.
Where would be a place to see a collection?
What's that?
Where would you see a collection?
Where can you see a collection of Haeger pottery today?
In the back.
Some in the back. And thanks to Dino.
The Dundee Historical Society Museum in Dundee has a collection.
That is true. Right now, there's a display at the Dundee Township Historical Society, a Haeger pottery display. So if you go there, they're open on Sundays. Is that on Tuesdays or Thursdays? Do you know?
Not quite sure.
I'm not
They've got
sure.
it posted on their Facebook.
That display's only there till December, I believe, though.
Yeah, it's a limited time,
Yeah,
and
so
it's
go
not
see it.
complete.
It's a
yeah.
really neat display.
It is, that's Dundee Historical Society, yeah. Mhm.
Where is
That's
it?
in the old St. Catherine's Church, and I can't forget what church, what street it's on. Is it Oregon?
Highland?
Highland?
Highland.
Highland.
Is it on Highland?
Isn't it in the old school?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
On Highland.
The Highland, okay. Yeah, the old Catholic school. That's where it's located at.
It's a really neat display.
It is a beautiful display. So, yeah, I recommend if you're interested, check that out. Anybody else have a question? No? Okay. Well, just so you know, I have brought with me my books. You're free to browse through them if you'd like to. And I do have copies for sale if you want to get a copy as well. No problem. No pressure. So that's it.